We want to rise upon the seven within the circle of justice, mercy, love, and right, and give all praises to the great God Allah, Father God Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Al Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuous, honoring yourselves by being yourselves. But let us come forth with our ancient committee and adept Moorish American prayer. And as we come forth, we ask that you open up your hearts and minds as we open up the way. Islam, Islam, Islamism without the schism. Ya Allah ebnu heru makuneteru, Ya Allah ebhet heru, Ya Allah ma'at heru, Ya Allah hutep heru, Ya Allah heru, Ya Allah ma'at herakuti, Ya Allah ahwajet juti, Ya Allah per im sutek per im heru, Ya Allah bamaduti, Al-Hajjat Shepsis Rayab to Ali. Amen. Hariyas, Hariyas, Hariyas. And that is the same Moorish kin in transliteration. O Allah, the Father of the universe. O Allah, the Father of love. O Allah, the Spirit of truth. O Allah, the Spirit of peace. O Allah, the Spirit of freedom. O Allah, the Spirit of justice. O Allah, you are my protector. O Allah, you are my guide. O Allah, you are my salvation by night and by day. O Allah, through your holy prophet, O Allah, Drew Ali. Amen. Huliyissa, Huliyissa, Huliyissa. Islam, Moorish king. And now we come forth before you with the divine constitution of Moorish America, salvation, our God, unity, the seven supreme constitutional acts of law. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the Chairman of Moorish America in power to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America. The assisting Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs, if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the citizens of Moorish America. The bylaws. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh. On a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all citizens of Moorish America. No citizen is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All citizens must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you're part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. No organization of Moorish America is to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all citizens must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali the Prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All citizens must promptly attend their meetings, become a part and a parcel of all uplifting acts of Moorish America. Moorish Americans must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of Moorish America, and then you're entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, peace and blessings be upon him, founding father and framer of the divine constitution and bylaws of Moorish America. And now that this meeting has been opened according to the triune acts, Acts 1, 2, and 3 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, we say Islam, Islam, Islamism without the schism. The providence of Allah is ever all his works. He ruleth and directed with infinite wisdom. He had instituted laws for the government of the world. He had wonderfully varied them in all beings, and each by his nature conforming to his will. Shemo Tepu, Moorish kin, peace and love. And we want to also, before our family come forth with the chapter, let it be known that we dropped the link into our ears, where it's a reply to the ears email. So if you will, Brother Marvin Edwards Bay, forward that to the Moorish Perspectives link that we normally sit out so that our family can tune in. If not, I can try to find it on my end as well, so that our family can come on the panel that normally come on the panel, yourself included. And at this particular time, before you come forth, I also want to do something real quick. I want to share this audio to make sure that they are able to hear the chapter when you come forth with our chapter. So I'm doing that right now. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm sharing the sound. Let me stop the screen, and I'm going to share this one more time so that when y'all come forth and read the chapter, they can hear you on that end. Okay, so we see the sound is being shared. And for the family that's watching us out there, I see the brother Born Dog. Once they start reading, brother, let it be known if you can hear them or not. So at this time, I'm going to step down and let our family come forth to read our chapter. Islam.
Islam, Shemo Tepu, National Sister Grand Sea. You want to forward it to the ears? I mean, not the ears.
Yeah, I want you to forward to that last Moorish Perspectives. The original Moorish Perspectives. Just go and pull up your most recent Moorish Perspectives and forward that link that I just sent you in the other email. Did you get that one? That come up out of your ears?
Okay, I got that. Oh, yes, sir. I'm about to. I was going to forward it, but I do pull up that particular email to the Moorish Perspectives. Will that be?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get you. No, it's coming up on the Shahid Shabazz L. Go to the Shahid Shabazz L email. You should see an email in there from me that came to your thing. I just sent it out. Pardon
okay, I'm trying to forward it to Shahid.
No, don't forward it to me. I just forwarded. I just sent it from Shahid Shabazz.
Yeah, it's not bringing up
L.
Thing right now.
That I usually send out. In other words, you're gonna reply to the Moorish Perspectives. That's all you do. Go into the reply.
Well, I'm replying to the. I'm forwarding. Okay.
All you're doing is replying to the Moorish.
I was born
Yep.
already.
That's the one that's in Egyptian adept norm. So when you hit reply, it's gonna
Okay.
send it to all of y'all.
Okay.
But if Sister Curta Bay is the one that's gonna be dealing with
Okay.
the law,
Reply.
give us 1 second, family.
Okay, I see the Egyptian mag adept. I'm forward
Yeah.
to that one.
Yes, sir. You're gonna forward it to that one right there. If you look at it, you'll see it got all the Moors in there. You see it at the top where you can bring it down with the little arrow where the emails come from, and it show all the Muslims in there. So when you hit reply, it should send it to everybody. That way, whoever want to come up can come up.
Got an arrow. Okay. Forward. Yeah, I don't see everybody coming up on that one.
Yeah, you got to hit reply to all. Don't just reply. You got to click on reply to all. I tell you what, just let the I think our sister gonna open it up, right? And I'll do it from my end and see what I can do. I just try to copy and paste the email
Okay.
in this recent one. Sister Curta Bay, you want to come forth and open up with the chapter pardon self for the delay family? All right, were you the one that was supposed to be reading the chapter,
Okay.
sister? Or was it you, Brother Marvin, that was
Who you talking to? Me or Sister Curtis Bailey?
I'm trying to figure out which one y'all.
Yeah, I'm taking
Whoever it is.
registration.
Okay. So
I'm taking registration. She can do it.
Islam. I can do it. I can do it.
Okay, yeah.
He usually do it, but I do it for while he's trying to get that together.
right, gratitude.
Islam?
I'm gonna stand down. Islam, you got it, sister.
Gratitude. Peace and love. Islam. Family, I am divine minister, Dr. Davis, to the great God Allah. I give honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to Act 1. I give honors to all my government officials. I give honors to our national assistants, to our council general, Dr. Marvin Everspace, for taking registration and assisting our national assistant Grand Sheik in getting this class where everybody can participate. Islam. I will be reading our chapter of the week, chapter 20, coming from our Holy Quran, and it reads, the Council of the Seven of the World. Mute your phones, family, if you're not speaking. The Council of the Seven of the World. In every age since time began, but 7 sages live. At first of every age, these signs meet to
Muted.
sages meet to note the course of nations, people, tribes, and tongues. To note how far toward justice and love the race has gone. To formulate the code of law, religious postulate, and plan of rule best suited to the coming age. An age had passed, and lo, another age had come. The sages must convene. Now, Alexandria was the center of the world's best thought, and here in Philo's home, the sages met. From China came Miste, from India, Vidyapati came, from Persia, Caspar came, and from Assyria, Eshbena came. From Greece, Apollo came. Matheno was the Egyptian sage, and Philo was the chief of Hebrew thought. The time was due. The council met and sit in silence 7 days. And then Misty wrote, time of woe have given out. The cherubim have woven a celestial cloth, have placed in it our hands, and we must make gods. The sons of men are looking up for greater light. No man. They see the beams of coming days, and yet comprehend them not. The time is ripe, and we must fashion well these garments for the race. And let us make for men new gods who may hide their nakedness when shines the light of coming days. And Vidi Aparte said, our priests have all gone mad. They saw a demon in the wilds, and at him cast their lamps, and they are broken up, and not a gleam of light has any priest for men. The night is dark. The heart of India calls for light. The priesthood cannot be reformed. It is already dead. Its greatest needs are graves and funeral chants. The new age calls for liberty, the kind that makes each man a priest, enables him to go on the shrine to the room. The devil is the greatest power in our land, and through a myth, he dandles on his knees, both youth and age. He rides on every passing breeze and lurks in every form of life. The fear of evil is a myth, is an illusion and snare, but it will live until some mighty power shall come to raise the eagles to the plane of life. When this shall come to pass, the Magian land will glory in the light. The soul of Persia called. Thus I have read chapter back over to our Council General of Texas, Dr. Marvin Edwards Day. Islam? Islam. Today is February the 22nd, 2024, 25. We give honors to National Assistant Grand Chief for opening us up. According to law, we give honors to our Council General of Texas for taking registration. We give honors to Dr. Dendra Nia Bay for reading our chapter of the week. And again, family, we want to welcome everyone to our Moorish Perspective class sponsored by our Moorish American government. Calls for liberty, the kind that makes each man a priest, enables him to go alone and lay his offering on the shrine of Allah. And at this time, we're going to turn everything over to our Host for tonight, our National Assistant Grand Chief.
Unmuted.
Islam, can you hear me, sister? Sister Dendra?
Yes, I can hear you. Hear you well.
Gratitude, Islam. Well, let us rise upon the seven.
Islam? Yes, can you?
Islam.
Gratitude.
Gratitude. Well, let us rise upon the seven within the circle of justice, mercy, love, and right, and give all praises to the great God, Allah, our Father God, Allah, and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Al-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal. We give honors to our Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution and bylaws, and honors to all of you who are indeed a living manifestation and personification of everything that our Holy Prophet brought to exhume us as a nation. I want to welcome you to another Moorish Perspectives. I'm your host instructor, Dr. Shahid Imaniya Mohadi Shabazz El. My ancient committee and high name being the same as Dr. Shedawal Minty El Muhajjed Shepsuel. And we have a grand drawing to bring forth to our Moorish kin. Mashallah, praise be to Allah, Islamism without the schism. We are coming forth from our chapter 20, the Council of the Seven of the World. The wheel of time have turned once more. It's still a part of our theme, so this is part 2, dealing with our chapter. So we got a powerful measure to bring on the manifest, and we encourage our family to have their paper and their pens on handy so that they can go through this measure with us, so to speak. Mashallah. Allah's leading on, victory is sure. The ancestors are leading on, and victory is sure. And so we can't go wrong, family. This is going to be a powerful drawing. We're drawing from a different ayat. In this special case, we like to extract that which brings us inspiration, so to speak. And thus we are inspired to go into this drawing. This Council of Seven degree deals more with what we call going into the essence of what it means to be executive rulers, who are establishing a foundation of law. That's the grand drawing. One second, more. Okay, pardon self. So, yeah, this is a grand drawing. And as you can see, our ayat that's going across the bottom of the screen, as a banner, it's very powerful. This is ayat 18, and it states the new age calls for liberty, the kind that makes each man a priest and enables him to go alone and lay his offerings on the shrine of Allah. What does this mean? What type of liberty is that? Liberty, is something that we have heard about, but not known what it really means. We heard, in liberty and justice for all, in the Pledge of Allegiance of the United States. We heard, those that were amongst their rebels say, give me liberty or give me death. We heard, my country, thee sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. And, liberty, liberty, liberty. You know, they would tell you that Abraham Lincoln was one that demonstrated liberty, you know. And so when we talk about liberty, um, the true aspect of liberty has to do with freedom in and of itself. You know, the kind of freedom that makes each Moorish American national MAN a priest. So that takes the gender away from the masculine. It enables this special one, you know, to go forth and lay their offerings on the shrine of Allah. You know, what are the offerings? And what is the shrine of Allah where you are to lay your offerings? We know that the altar fires are set within the consciousness of our people. This is where the shrine of Allah dwells. It's a sacred place. Each and every one of us have been given a talent, you know, as high priests, you know, brothers and sisters, as angels that enable us to go from the center to the outer bound, you know, to go alone. You know, in other words, going alone doesn't mean necessarily that you are alone, because you always one with the great God. You one with the ancestor. You one with your brothers and sisters. But each and every one of us have been given a work that is tailor-made for us to demonstrate, you know, and really reach out to our people. You know, so we really want to encourage our family to really get it in, so to speak. It ain't strange. I went out today to the Harambe festival that they normally have with our people. And I was telling our family I was going to go out there, you know, so I can reach out to the masses. And I so happened to run into a brother that I knew. And as we were speaking, a sister came to us. And she invited us to come to this little meeting that they're supposed to be having Wednesday, you know, where they are speaking of organizing, you know, our people. And they call themselves dream defenders, so to speak. And I got the little flyer in my hand right now. You know, of course, you know, and this is a younger sister, you know, that was, I guess, heading it up with whoever it is. It's going to be on the campus of the university, Florida A&M, FAMU, basically. And so I look forward to going there and giving my portion, because they're going to have a lot of people speaking on various different issues, you know. And you know, they have a measure in the flyer where they were speaking of we are organizing future generations of leadership to build power through issue-based campaigns, international solidarity, you know, electoral strategy, political education, cultural programming, community service, and we are politically committed, you know, to a socialist, you know. And you know, they got their little demonstration where they like to deal with their blackism, but we ain't criticizing them because they babies. And so it's our duty to teach them as opposed to scold them. They move it in the right direction. They just need right guidance. And so I told them that I would come and I would like to speak on self-determination. You know, and they say our goal is to transform our generation's voting culture and protest power into an organized force capable of pushing an economic social agenda for freedom that prioritize safety and community care. You know, they got some of the pictures of our brother Malcolm, Sister Angela Davis, Brother Martin Luther King, you know, and they said freedom needs fighters, you know. And basically they said the forces of power in this country are working to decide the futures of the oppressed people all over the world. And we have an opportunity and responsibility to fight for the future we deserve and believe in. And so then she gave me like this brochure. And it ain't strange that we're talking about freedom and liberty. You know, The Freedom Papers is what they call it. And it says freedom to be, freedom from police and prisons, freedom of mind, freedom to govern, freedom of movement, freedom from war and violence, freedom from environmental destruction, freedom from poverty. Oh, this right on my alley right here, you know. And I'm just looking at this as I'm going through it. I ain't even really sat down and reading it, so y'all are viewing this with me. But pretty much on every page, you know, is a theme dealing with freedom. And they say these are the Freedom Papers, born out of commitment to build and fight for a world where we each have a safety, dignity, and a good life. These pages hold the aspirations and demands of generations determined to reshape our destinies. We hope that within these pages, you will find your truths and dreams ready to be made reality. This is our North Star and path forward. Community, welcome. This is a little nice little thing here, freedom from prison. So they got every page in here breaking down, you know, some of the things that they was actually speaking of, the freedom of mind, everything it is that they want freedom from. Today, there are dozens of TV shows peddling the police as dignified heroes, ones that solve sex crimes and stop robberies and terrorism and drug dealers. But we know what they are really doing in our streets, frisking us, beating us, framing us, killing us. Politicians say that this trust has been broken between police and our communities. But did that trust ever exist? When police joined the lynch mobs and hung thousands of us from trees, when they bashed our heads in at the Stonewall Inn, or when they put water hoses and dogs on our grandparents during the civil rights movement. Question. We don't deny that violence happens in our communities. What we deny is that police and prisons are the ones to stop it. There are about 1 million cops, 18,000 law enforcement agencies, and 3,000 jails and prisons. Our hoods often have the highest homicide rates and the most police. The math ain't mathing. Today, even the best, most well-trained, most grew up in this community. Cops spend their shifts locking up Black, Latino, and indigenous people whose primary crime is living, walking, standing, driving while poor. Millions of people who police put in jails each year have incomes less than $10,000. Police kill more than 3 people a day and injure thousands of people each year after excessive force. 3 people a day and injure thousands of people each year. Excessive force. Sexual misconduct is the second highest complaint against law enforcement. These statistics get even deadlier if you broke, Black, and disabled. Safety is jobs, collective entrepreneurship, and basic income for all. Safety is phenomenal child care and well-equipped schools. Safety is community conversations where people learn to solve their differences without deadly violence. Safety is full bellies with healthy, tasty meals. It's a place to see doctors and therapists without months-long waiting lists or stressing over whether it will be covered by our insurance. Our communities have deserved and have demanded these essential things for over a century. You know, and they say by virtue of being born, each of us has the absolute right. It says to people-centered, humane justice, mediation, resolution, and violence prevention, a right to dismantle the prison industrial complex and the racist, sexist, profit-driven society that capitalizes from it, a right to create life-affirming institutions to help us thrive. So, you know, I can see, you know, this this little body here, you know, some people would consider their outlook as a radical outlook, you know, but anything that go against status quo is looked at in that way. So yeah, they go into freedom of mind, freedom of education, freedom of movement. But when you listen to these things, a lot of our people, these young babies, these young ones that's formulating what they're trying to formulate, a lot of them don't know that the things that they are asking for can't be done on the level of the state. It has to go beyond that of the state. These are things that can only be received on an international level, dealing with international law. What we know, the representation of being an arm of the supreme laws. Again, freedom to be, freedom from police and prisons, freedom of mind, freedom to govern, freedom of movement, freedom from war and violence, freedom from environmental destruction, freedom from poverty. I ain't gonna read each and every one of them because it'll take too long to do that, but I just open that up with you all. So what I see here, you all see as well. So I didn't even plan to go into that actually. I was just tending to mention, that I end up running into some of our family out there. And I was just talking to the brother. And that brother actually is affiliated with Dr. Ali Muhammad. He was originally a Hebrew when I last met him, a few years ago, but he's with the brother Ali Muhammad. And the brother is demonstrating, y'all know what Ali is demonstrating. He's demonstrating more of the indigenous stuff, but he was actually one of the people that was present during the time of Act 1 going before the UN. He was actually present in the building. Him, Alim Bey, Africa Bambata, and a couple of more of them, Sabir Bey, and what his name? Taj Tarif Bey, Malachi York's daughter, a lot of the Great Seal, Moors, and those who was following the Empress, they were all present during the time when our flag was accepted. And they were supposed to be part of the measure, but that brother went on to do his own thing. And, we ain't here to go back and forth with these ones because it wastes a lot of time to where one should be trying to find a middle ground, so to speak, to bridge the gaps. We're not interested in trying to convert somebody out of what it is that they think, but teach them the right way so that we can come under one umbrella. At least that's what I'm interested with at this time. And that one umbrella is the Moorish American government. And it was mentioned about, from the onset about the way religion was being used to divide the masses. And so I gave my drawing on that particular mention to let it be known that we're dealing with a oneness of minds is what we are supposed to demonstrate. And so, mashallah, I make it to this meeting this coming Wednesday. Yeah, I will go in there because I asked the sister was she the head of the event, and she said she was. So, I asked for her permission to be able to speak on self-determination. I'm going to talk about government, and so forth and so on. So, mashallah, this may be a good foundation with this group to be able to try to reach out to our people, in the flesh, so to speak, and we'll see what we're able to do. But this new age calls for liberty. It calls for freedom. That's why we have one approach us. It's the energy, And so each and every one of us have a job with a priestly duty. You have to go out there with what has been placed in you and lay your offerings on the shrine of the great God. And if they are accepted and acceptable, then the great God will allow one to be successful in what they demonstrate. So the time for us just sitting down being passive, is long gone, and it's time to be active in whatever talents that we have. We wasn't given those talents, to hump the ground and go to the grave without having ever taught our people what it is that they can learn, because the very thing that they need to learn from you, if it go to the grave with you, then they might have to wait a whole nother cycle age or a few cycle ages in plural to get that measure that you could have gave them, but they never got it from you. And what I told the sister, I said, one thing that we have to look at is that when we was on the bottom of them slave ships, laying in our own defecation, and blood and so forth and so on, sweat and tears, the only thing the people had in mind, they had a common goal to be free. And this is the mindset we have to have being on this current slave ship, because we still on one right now. As long as we have not been attached to the family of nations, as long as we have not taken our affairs, among the men and the women of true societies, then we are still on the slave ship. We are still laying in our own feces, our own blood, sweat, and tears, whether we know it or not. You may not think that you ain't physically there, but that's all good and well. But, psychologically, mentally, you still and we are still at the bottom of the ship. We don't know what it looked like to be top deck. We only know what it feels like to be on the bottom. And our self-determination will determine how well we are able to rise from the bottom of this present slave ship that is in motion. Some of our people have jumped ship. Some of our people, have tried to come to the top and do away with the captor. But none of these things have been successful in the ways that they have demonstrated, because they didn't come forth as a whole with the grand plan. So that's where we at with it. Each and every one of us is a priest. So do you have the courage to go along and offer your offerings to the shrine of Allah for his approval when it comes to the work that you were called to do? If we can't lay the burden on one person, you can't just lay it on our Grand National Chairman, the Grand Sheikh, Assistant Grand Sheikh, any other amongst the tribe of endurance. You got to go out there and do some work yourself. You got to roll up your sleeves and your pant legs and start kicking up some dust, as they used to say back in the day. So if you are a true priest, and it is said, if my people who are called by my name would turn away from their wicked ways, I will heal them. He said that he'll make us royal priests. You see? So if this is the case, if we're dealing with that type of liberty and the kind that makes us priests, then it's time to go along. Find out what your purpose is. That's what go along mean. That means even if nobody else understands your assignment, you understand your assignment. And the work that you have been given is for you. Well, now we know it's some people that like to look on somebody else's paper, and get answers from other people, but by you doing that, it don't make you no stronger intellectually, because what happens, when you demonstrate that type of measure is that you become a slave to the person's intellect, that you was dependent upon when it comes to dealing with their answers. And so the answers are not yours. And if you have to recall these things in mind, then you won't be able to recall them. And the reason you won't be able to recall them, because it was not your research. It was not your own study. You didn't go within to get it. You see, you got it from somebody else. You was leaning on them. So your liberation and your drive for liberation, to get some liberty, can only come from your will to be self-determined. You know, you can't have liberty without self-determination. Determining within yourself that you're going to free yourself, you're going to free your people. You see? So these are offerings, whatever your talent may be, that you can take to the shrine of Allah, the shrine of the great God, the shrine of nature, you know, the shrine of Yahweh, if that's what you call it, you know, the shrine of Jah. And we can go on and on, the shrine of Jehovah, if that's what you call it. Whatever name you chose to use, this new age, where the wheel of time is turned once more, this new age calls for liberty. You know, you got to be willing to do the work yourself. You got to be willing to put in the work, even in the sense as if you were the last person on the island of captivity that needed to be free, and it wasn't nobody else there but you, so you have to depend upon you. And so you can't depend on nobody else. So this is the kind that makes each man a priest. And if we are looking at it that way, instead of focusing on the work that somebody else is doing and criticizing them for what they didn't do or what they should do, you come forth with your talent and lay it on the altar and see the great God, or that the great God and the ancestors, you know, accept that offer. The shrine of Allah is really the hearts of the people. Leadership is won within the hearts of the people. So if you can't change the condition of yourself to the extent to where your character reflects enough to change a people, then you got a little more work to do. See, a true leader is able to lead and guide a people without even saying, go here and go there. They will naturally begin to follow in the footsteps of the leadership because they see that the leadership is active in what it is that they claim to demonstrate. Islam? So you have freedom of movement, as the young brothers and sisters have, you know, in their brochure. You have freedom of movement. And I like the little brochure. I need to pick up some pointers from them on this and see who pressing them for them so we can make some more brochures. You know, they done set my soul on fire over here already. Yeah, this is a powerful demonstration. So yeah, you know, and so you know, it's a grand thing to see our youth out here demonstrating like this here. Yep, teach the young and the old shall follow in shame. Prophet Noble Jew Ali say he came for the third and the fourth generations, 3 and 4 and 7. He came for the young and not yet born. So, you know, this is the purpose of the executive rulers, the council of the seven of the world making preparation, you know, and we understand that these things come within the milestone, within the journey of the race, you know. So the key is what offerings do you have, again, to lay upon, you know, the altar as it relates to the heart and consciousness of our people. This is the shrine of Allah that we're talking about. Ask yourself that question, and then once you have the answer, get to work. Don't wait for nobody else to lay, you know, the offerings upon the altar. You do it. That's the whole purpose of us learning. We didn't learn just to sit here on the conference call and converse and see who can philosophize the best about what it is that has been brought to us. That's not what we are here to learn information for, to amass a bunch of books and say, I got that book. You know, I heard that particular lesson. But what are you doing with it? You know, this is not the hold your hand demonstration. You got to get out there and really want to teach your people. You got to get out there and really have the drive to guide your people. If not, you just sitting in a state of a stagnation, similar to a stagnant pond. Ain't no ripples or no waves coming through there. It's just still waters. You know, but we have to stir up the waters. We have to stir up the ethers. We have to stir our people up. And once we know that they have been stirred up, then we seize the time to elevate them, not move them emotionally, not get them all caught up and riled up emotionally and send them back home that way to where they have to deal with the same reality, you know, that had been discussed with them. You know, it's time to be active, demonstrate some action. Whatever you have been given of your talents, if you don't have a conception in your mind, a clear conception about the work that you've been called to do, being about your Father's business, you know, if you don't have that in mind, you know, that's part of the problem. Imagine if those of our people within the sound of my voice right now, everybody that's here, you know, the ones that may speak and a little bit of the ones that ain't speaking. Imagine if we all came together and we all had a purpose. And imagine that we all found out what our purpose was and we mastered that purpose. Then we pooled our resources based upon the information that we have, based upon our knowledge that we have gained through the journey. Imagine that we utilize all of that as a collective. I put my portion in, you put your portion in. Everybody being masterminds in their own right, priests in their own right. Imagine this. And we master what it is that we have of our purpose to a perfection. And we bring all of that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding together. As a collective, we will be free overnight. But the problem is, you have those who may have been given a special gift of the understanding, and they believe that their gift of the understanding trumps all others. They believe that their gift of the understanding is above the collective, and they can't sit down at the same table, you know, and come together with all these masterminds. Everybody say they're masterminds until it's time to sit at the table with masterminds. And when it's time to sit at the table with mastermind, now everybody got an opinion and everybody in opposition to each other. Whether it's dealing with religious gang banging, political gang banging, social gang banging, you know, that's basically what's being demonstrated. And it's killing the people. It's bringing the masses, you know, to their very own demise, unfortunately. You see? Why is this? Why is it so important that one is to invoke the ego? You know, when we sit down and talk about unity, and what ends up happening in most cases, when we sit down and talk about unity, more disunion becomes the outcome of a failed, you know, measure of ability to communicate properly. Because it becomes a tug of war, you know, and a waste of time. I tell our people all the time, I ain't got 30 more years to waste. You know, Either you gonna get the truth and you want the truth, or you don't. I ain't trying to force nobody to accept nothing. You know, I'm only interested in the ones that want to unite. You know, and we have a couple of casualties in war along the way. You can't save everybody. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said he can count them on his hand and still have fingers left over based upon the ones that he gonna be able to free. Even our sister Harriet Tubman had a pistol. You know, she couldn't even frighten some of them NBCs into freedom. You know, they'd rather her put that iron on them than to try to strive for their freedom. Some of our people, I say it all the time, are afraid to think free thoughts, much less sit down and plan, plot, and strategize in relation to dealing with freedom. Yeah, it's terrible. Unfortunately, and this is the way of the mindset now. Don't nobody want to rock the boat. Everybody want to tiptoe through the tulips. Everybody want to be politically correct, not knowing that they are actually being deceived, you know, under the politics of a meritocracy, whatever that is. Try dropping the A on MAGA. You know, and then understand that MAG is the Moorish American government. That's what we need to be on. That's what our wavelength of vibration should be demonstrating. Moorish American government. And we're not talking about, you know, occupied America. We're talking about the Americas of the adjoining islands, that in which we are the owners of. We have everything it is that relates to the measure. You know, we can show you where in the 1740 Negro Acts, where they tell you that the Moors were considered the people that were free in the land. We have documentation where brothers like Prince Abdul Rahman, who they made the movie Prince Among Thieves about. We have paperwork where he was freed under his Moorish nationality and identity. We have paperwork where the European has accepted, you know, the Moors and their affiliations, the El and the Bay and so forth and so on. You know, and we can go on and on with this demonstration. We got it there. We can show you where the word, you know, more originate from and how it's traced back to our ancestors. We done did it. We got countless videos where we demonstrated this. You know, but what have our people done with it but take it back to the European? What have our people done with this information but tried to go out there and create things that are impossible to create without being a nation? You know, they want to create passports, you know, with half-cop information, not understanding you can't even demonstrate in the realms of sovereignty, you know, without actually being a people. You know, like the chairman said, what happened to your sovereignty when Rome stick their gun in your mouth? What you talking about then? What you got to say then? So the key is, I don't understand how people can be so fearful, but yet commit acts of treason against their higher self, or against their people and their nation, and don't have fear of demonstrating in that particular area. That's crazy. Scared to be free and demonstrate a free thought, but yet you'll go out there with all that craziness, you know, and sacrifice yourselves for a theory. You know, and we can show our people, you know, that they still trying it. Our people still trying this nonsense. And that's why it's been so hard for us to reach our people. Because they've been telling our people, if you sign this paperwork, you know, as a more, then that's going to make you free. You know, if you sit on this land and you squat, now they done changed the law. Get caught squatting if you want to on somebody's land. You know, most of our people have been labeled paper terrorists. All type of nonsense. And then they want to get upset with the real Moorish American government, get mad. They want to get upset and blame us for when things go wrong. When we've been telling them all the while, you know, stay out them European courts. You know, so our people become powerless due to their own inactivity. You see, so it's time to get active and stop being passive again and do the work. What is your talent again? I ask you. That's what's going to free you. What frees a nation of people is understanding what their gross national product is. And that comes through freedom of expression. Freedom of expression, again, is an international law. What do you have within you that you are willing to freely express? Since you got freedom of expression. What is in you? What talent do you have to demonstrate freedom of your expression? And if you know you have that talent, then what you doing sitting on the sideline? Why haven't you utilized that talent if you truly want to be free? Why haven't you used that talent if you truly want to see your people free? Why are you sitting over there in the shadows? You know, just listening to lecture after lecture, giving your input, but you have not begun to demonstrate anything to show where you have been working toward your liberation and the freedom of your people on the credit side of life. Where is it? Show it to your people. If you believe what you know will make us more successful, show it to the people. Go out there and demonstrate it. Stop talking about it. Since you know so much, since you feel like things should be tweaked according to your intellect, show us what you have done. Show us your works. And if you can't show us your works, then be silent. And just sit there, you know, and let those who will come forth amongst the young and not yet born, like the prophet said, let them come on forth and sit you in the back. Because you got that old thought pattern. You thinking like an old Moor. And listen, family, I am not trying to be overbearing to our people. I'm not trying to call you out. I'm not trying to step on your toes. You know, if you got, you know, listen, I'm just trying to demonstrate what I have been inspired to demonstrate. I don't move on my own accord. I don't move according to my own agenda. My will is aligned with the will of the divine. And if I link my will up with the deific will, then everything that I will should come out as I will. It may not come out right then, but one thing I know, I said all the time, there's never a prayer that I have put out there vibrating the ethers that has come back null and void. So can't nobody convince me that Allah ain't leading on and victory is sure. Irregardless of how it look. Some of our Moorish kids have no idea, you know, of some of the things that I done been through in the past months and year. Some of them know what the demonstration is. But even in that, Allah is leading on and victory is sure. You see? So I'm encouraging our family, to get on the front line. It's time to stand up. It's time to wake up. It's time to move. Movement represents life. A lack of movement is death. I remember reading the literature, of Pam and Ramona and John Africa, the Move Nine. They were bombed in Philadelphia. And that's one of the things they spoke on. Movement represents life. Stagnation is a form of death. And our people have been drinking from stagnant waters. They've been living and washing themselves in stagnant water. And the result, has become infectious. And they have become infected with those things that will bring about their demise. And all of these things because we choose to be in a stagnant environment. So life is the great God. In ancient Kemet, they have the key to life, which represents the Ankh. Prophet Noble Drew Ali say he brought the keys of civilization back to the Moors. Are these keys of life or keys to death? Keys that will allow you to unlock your own consciousness so that you may be able to grow and develop into a perfect manifest. Being planted first as a seed within the very matrix of your mother. And I'm not just talking about the physical womb. I'm speaking about the reality of the seeds that have been planted within the hearts and mind and the consciousness of our people to grow apace. That's what I'm talking about. See, I ain't here to preach to you because I'm not a preacher. We teach over here. You see what I'm saying? Because when you go to talking about preaching, then people go to thinking, oh, this one is holier than thou. Oh, this one, is on some type of holy rolling demonstration. Make no mistake about it. We teach over here. We don't preach. This ain't church, with all due respect. This is a government. You see? So we are here to what? Teach our people their nationality and divine creed. This is the purpose of the divine and national movement. What did Prophet Noble Drew Ali say? He told them that the purpose of the MST of A was to teach our people to be better citizens where they were at that time. In the divine and national movement as it relates to, the national side, it takes us into the aspects of dealing with the uniting of the Asiatic states. So that's what we're here to do, unite the people. It's time to rally up the people, not to tell them to pick up guns and bombs, because that ain't going to free you. War is the reason that the world is in the conflict and under the condition that it is now. Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, don't even tote a pocket knife. We got a scimitar though, and that's consciousness. So we don't need physical weapons to deal with our adversary, our enemy, because we have the power to stop the enemy from thinking. And we call that psychic self-defense. By the time you think it, pretty much you done already dissipated the adversary. You done already took the adversary off the count. You didn't have to do it physically. The cycle as it relates to cyclic karma is bound to manifest itself in times of injustice. And we call that justice taking its course. Yeah, so, that's where we at, Morris Ken. It don't take long to tell the truth. So I don't feel like I need to use the hammer repetition to explain anymore at this particular point. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and open up the floor so that we can hear from our Moorish kin and see what it is they have to say. And remember, this call, we actually have the computer on. So you won't be able to speak from the panel and be heard. You have to speak from the conference call side, and then that will be heard through this apparatus. It will be heard through the computer, basically. There's some type of block on that. So what we're going to do, we're going to call on our family. We're going to open up the floor now to hear from our family. And don't bring no nuts and bolts up in here because we talking about apples and oranges. Stick to the script. Stick to the convo. Stick to what is being said in here. Don't come up in here with no energy trying to redirect the course away from what it is that we talking about. Stay in line. So at this time, star six your phone more as if you have anything it is that you would like to demonstrate. Islam? We're going to do something different too. Islam, grand man. Yes, sir. You have the flow. We're going to do something different though. I'm finna drop this link in here too for those who may be watching and they want to come up here and say something. Long as one is respectable, they can come in here and demonstrate. We don't use no profanity, and we ain't here to argue back and forth, but you are welcome to hit that link right there, and we'll let you in and give your measure in relation to dealing with this subject matter. And you don't have to believe in what we believe in to do that. Freedom of thought. All right. Come on, brother. Who that is speaking?
Islam Mighty Moore, Divine Minister of Rule.
Right, God.
Mayad El Bay. Let me first rise.
Pardon self. I'm finna mute out, brother.
Islam. Gratitude for you in this beautiful platform. And let me first rise and give all praise to our Father, God Allah. Honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to the Moorish American government. Honors to this beautiful class, this Moorish perspective. And honors to our Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Muted.
For giving us a roadmap, so that we can have this thought pattern to unite. And this is a grand demonstration. Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he told us what to study. He said, if you would ask me, what to study, I would say, study yourself. And when you would have, finish studying yourself and come back and ask me what to study next, I would say, study yourselves. So we have to study our higher self and our lower self. And this is how we will come to a sense of knowing, what it is that we are called to do. And unless you study yourself, to know what it is that you're good at, what it is that you're passionate about, what it is that you are comfortable with within your very own self. This is how you can stand to prove, within yourself and know what it is that you were called for. And this is a grand revelation. And this is a journey that we all have to take. These are things that we all have to do is love each other, communicate. It's this, and we think it's like surgeon, but it's really the small things in life that I've noticed. that are very important. Learning how to love once, learning how to not be uh, one's own greatest enemy. You know, we've been taught so many negative things, our intellect. So I found that just getting rid of a lot to my own consciousness and my own brothers and sisters is what I have to forgive myself. You know, and that was a lot of the big thing in regards to my healing. You know, everything else uh, is really trivial in my own existence, and that was one of the grand revelations. But I didn't learn that nowhere in but this Martian American government. You know, beginning to break down those walls came here in the American government on these classes. You can get on these classes and you can learn so much because it is like a healing. It's like a mental repository where you can hear brothers and sisters, but you have to go and take it into the real world. And so, you know, that's just the measure that I come forth with. You know, just wanting to give one encouragement.
Islam, grand man. We give honors to you for giving us that encouragement. Praise be to Allah, Islamism without the schism. You know, and we say gratitude for the gifts of your understanding. You know, General. Praise be to Allah. All right.
Islam Sheik, Assistant Grand Sheik, can you hear me?
Unmuted.
Yes, sir. We hear you, brother. Yes, sir. Pardon the body. Islam.
If you're speaking,
Yeah, can you hear me now?
all is well. Gratitude. Islam.
Gratitude. And if my this
Islam.
thing drop,
Islam, we will.
okay. I notice I got a delay, but if this drops, you know, I would definitely come back on here. I'm trying to make this thing act right, so to speak. It's kind of acting wacky on me. Okay, there we go. We need it to stay in charge mode so that it don't shut down. Mashallah. All right, so yeah, that's where we are, family, with this demonstration. So the floor is still open for comments. You have anything you would like to say, come on in here. We give honors to you, brother Heru Bey, for the drawing that you just gave us. Islam. Islam, anybody on the panel that has their YouTube open, could y'all hear the brother speaking through YouTube? Brother Marvin Edwards Bey, could you hear?
It's I heard him off of your website. I mean the screen guide.
That's what I'm
well.
saying. Okay. I just wanted to make sure, you know, that we could hear our family. So is there any other more that would like to give their measure on what it is that we have discussed tonight? Islam?
Islam.
Oh. Y'all done woke Sister Dendra Nee Curtis Bay up. It's on now. Come on in here, goddess.
Islam.
Let's
Do you want me?
Y'all in trouble.
Can I speak from the panel?
Yeah, you
Islam.
should.
Islam. Can you hear me, God man?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm gonna see. You should be able to speak from the panel.
Yeah.
Normally,
Okay.
don't let it come through.
No, I'm on my phone. I'm coming through the
that's
phone.
good. Okay, yeah, that's good. Come on, sister. Let me mute out.
Okay. All right. Islam. Islam. The Iran class. You're coming from your title, the new age calls for liberty, the kind that makes each man a priest, enables him to go along and lay his offering on the shrine of Allah. And I thoroughly enjoyed what you brought forth, especially when you was talking about. It just seemed like the prophet is just causing everything to fall into place, especially when you was giving your measure and talking about how when you was out there meeting with young people, and that just goes to show you, our young people, they are ready, and that's what I read in this chapter. The time is ripe, and we got to get out there, just like you say, however we can. Everybody might not can't go to different festivals or things of this nature, but we have to get out there and be the message that we bring. And like you say, our young people, they want the truth. They, like in this chapter, they are looking for the great God of love. They trust in, and we know who that God is. We have the answer that they are looking for. And like you, all they need is some guidance. They need the guidance of the Moorish Americans. You know, they need us because can remember when we Islam, Islam. Okay, I thought I heard somebody trying to get in, but yeah, Islam. But yeah, we was the same way when we was on our path to the government, when we didn't know nothing about the prophet. We was had all that zeal, but we didn't know exactly what to do and how to do it. And then the prophet came to us. So our young people, God, man, gratitude for all that you do, gratitude for being out there on that front line, and that's what we got to do. We got to help teach our young people, because like we always say, it takes some more to teach you more how to be a more. Our leaders and things, they can't teach them how to be Moorish America. They taking them. Some of our leaders is taking them in the wrong direction anyway, and a lot of them know the truth, but they don't want to lose their little old money that they got coming in, because they keep perpetrating that lie about Jesus. But I tell you, God, man, yes, sir, you done fired me up there. Yeah, and gratitude for letting me share. Peace and love. Islam.
All right, Islam. Let me make sure that our family can hear us. I forgot I did mute myself out.
Muted.
Islam?
Unmuted.
Islam. The floor is open, Brother Marvin Edwards Bay. Honor Sister Dendra for what she demonstrated.
Gratitude.
Islam.
Very powerful class. Go ahead.
Now, I was letting you go, brother. I just said Islam.
Okay, gratitude. Dr. Marvin Evans Bay, Texas. Very powerful class. Praise and honors have been given. I just wanted to say, I heard you. I mean, it reminded me from back carrying those guns in the streets, talking about the Panthers, and H. Rap Brown and Stoker Carmichael, all of those brothers back in the day, But I also think about who we're dealing with, So, I think that the prophet brought the message in such a way that he protected us. He said that we don't have to carry a pocket knife. We don't have to carry the truth. And also, our good brother, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, said in Message to the Black Man, you don't have to pick no gun. And so this is a message that we have to hold on to. We have to know that we can elevate our consciousness, and that will suffice. Like you say, that psychic defense is real, And so I just encourage all of our people to get behind the prophet. He said he was going to be the water when the fire comes, and it's coming, And so, it's just such a beautiful class, and you broke it down beautifully, and you put the fire in the people, And I'm thinking about coming down there on Wednesday, if I can, reach out to you, give you that support. But praise the Lord for sending us the prophet, for bringing these teachings. And it's these teachings that's going to save the people. And we know that Allah is not going to, through the prophet, it's not going to wake us all up at the same time. But those that he wake up, we just have to stand strong, and be patient. And know that Allah is leading on, liberty. Yeah, enables, but by itself, I'm reading the title going across the banner, going across the new age calls for liberty, the kind that makes each man a priest. And we've heard this from time during the course of the journey. Enables him to go alone and lay his offerings on the shrine of Allah. So each one of us, we have to have that understanding, that rock which man builds himself, that we don't have to wait on nobody to do anything. When we walk with the truth. And those that come into our experience, they feel it. They may not want to admit it at the exact moment, but later on they'll feel it. And then when Allah moves them, when Allah moves you, and I know I've experienced it, you can think you want to sit down on your hands. No, when Allah moves you, you best have these teachings under your belt. You best have these teachings embedded within yourself so that when you move, when you step, you're stepping on the truth. You're not stepping on what some organization brought on the manifest, because they're not going to save you. They're going to take you and they're going to treat you just like that lamb, taking you to the slaughter, But praise Allah for these lessons. Praise Allah for the spirit of the prophet in every word that he spoke. The prophet said, when I tell you he's going to do something, he already did it. So he already done prepared the way. All we got to do is move with it, And I'm just grateful for being here in this divine and national movement. That's what it is, a divine and national movement. More is not lackadaisical, not shiftless and lazy, like they labeled us back in the day, And, we have to remember how they murdered us, how they continue to want to murder us. But when we come into the light of this truth, we can stay the hand of the beast, so to speak. But gratitude, God, man, for allowing me to speak. Islam and peace.
Yeah, Islam and peace. And we give honors to you for that drawing, brother.
Islam
You
Grandman,
know,
can you
Unmuted.
hear me?
praise be to Allah.
Islam?
You know, yeah, we got a delay over here more, so just be a little patient with me. You know, but yeah, we give honors to that droid. Remember the theme, Moorish King. This is the key. You know, it ain't about riding the prophet coattail. It ain't about riding the chairman coattail. It ain't about riding my coattail. We say this age of liberty calls for the kind that makes each man a priest, each Moorish American national, enable them to go alone and lay your offerings on the shrine of Allah. You know what I mean? It's time for all of us to demonstrate that. So Islamism without the schism, you know, gratitude. All right. Any other more that would like to come forth and exercise their fire? The floor is still open. We got plenty of time. Let the world know you're
Islam.
alive. Islam.
Islam. Grand Class, Sister National Grand Chief. This is Sean Washington Emotut Rabeo from the Michigan Consulate. I rise and give all praise to the great God Allah. I give all honors to the prophet, Noble Dry Leader, last prophet of all times. I give all honors to this theocratic government. I give all honors to the theocratic Moorish government flag. I give all honors to the Book of Fire, the 101s, 102s, the Holy Quran, the Hadiths, the Book of Ali. I give all honors to the Prophet T. This is a grand class. Our people still is trying to get free under paperwork. I'm just thinking of this today with myself. I said we ain't gonna never get free under this, on these European corporations. Like, and I be saying that, I be thinking, we still trying to go up in their courtrooms and stuff.
Muted.
Then we get jammed up and using that paperwork, trying to take people's property and all that out there, like in suburbs. And, it ain't gonna work, and you can get locked up for that. And they thinking, they looking at our people as paper terrorists. And I keep saying, I be thinking of this, I say we only can get free in this democratic government. That's the only way, the only freedom we got. We got the keys already. And like you say, we try to reach out to them. They don't want to listen to us. They trying to get some. Some people want some trinkets, some gold and silver. They looking for, a house, a home, or some, a car. That's what they be thinking when we telling them to, Then I be out here. I'm out here, keep my profit out front. I tell them, I keep it moving, drop my blessings. And I'm not convinced to nobody, come into this government to free themselves. Like these young people out here, like we said, they ready. We could pass the government to them. We could get a choice to them, free them, not no paperwork and all that, packages and all that, consular courts. You got some of these Moors that's not in this government. They making their own license plates now. All this is confusing, Then they said the prophet had his own money, You got all these forms of governments out here, that's convincing our people, what I'm saying, the get their own license plates and all that. You could travel. You don't need the corporations, they instruments, and the prophet said you'll be breaking Rome laws, So, we gotta come home. It's already, everything is already, it's already sealed. You don't need none of that stuff, And you got a lot of more. Somebody go to the city county, get, put your all that. He like, know, they don't want to listen to all. They don't want to come home to this girl. They want to go there and all these like these so-called black leaders, like the guy said, they know the truth. They know the law, you know, but they took an oath, you know, to the corporation, you know, and a lot of these like these high-profile attorneys, you know, they sold out, you know, and they're not going to tell us they got prosecutors in every territory in that corporation. And so, and they took they took an oath to the barcodes, the British, I think, with the British barcode, all them attorneys and all that, judges know all this stuff, but it's not going to happen with them. We got to, you know, use what the prophet gave us, and that's what I'm using. I'm using this tool. There's nothing else gonna save me with this government. You know, gratitude, peace and love, Islam.
Unmuted.
Gratitude, brother, for the measure. Peace and love. You know, and we done showed our people over and over again, you know, what happened when our people continue to violate the law of the prophet, you know, and try to do, you know, all these other things other than what the prophet said, you know, and our people still running behind fools, though, so to speak. Unfortunately, some of them, you know, they still running behind that which has brought them nothing but pain and suffering, you know, and they wonder why. You know, they are constantly finding themselves in bad situations. You know, Rome doesn't have any jurisdiction over you unless you put yourself in a position for them to put jurisdiction over you. You know, assume they have, and that's called the color of the law. You know, so when you violate the prophet's law, you know, that's where the conflict come in at, you know, with our people. And they constantly doing the things that has not worked, so to speak. They want to test the waters. They want to test the waters. And that's why they continue to fall by climb. Unfortunately. You know, so next more, is there any other more that would like to exercise their fire in regards to dealing with this subject matter? The floor is still open, Morshkin. We got plenty of time. Time never was, but we got plenty of time. Islam, Dr.
Islam, grand man. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Islam?
Yes, sir. Islam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's a little delay.
Yeah, it is. That's what I was telling the Moors earlier. So when they get done, know that I'm just a delay. So go ahead, brother.
Okay. Islam, family. I am consulate. First, I want to rise and give all praise to mighty God Allah. Give honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, his official, Act One, all our officials. Honors to our grand national flag, seal, and emblem. Honors to all Moorish Americans here, there, and everywhere. Well, I tell you, yeah, I know we've uh, um, your title of the class, the new age calls for liberty, the kind that his offerings on the shrine of Allah is grand measure. And well, I tell you, I you know, like I said, I've been on this journey for around the world, around the sun, and have given me clarity in some things and inspiration in others. That I want American government so much honor for uplifting me, myself, and my goddess to be able to free ourselves and be able to show that love and be a message that we bring. You know, I have grown up with so much anger within me, grand man, knowing that these ones, I've seen it with my own eyes, what these ones have done throughout the years and continue to do. I've seen how our people have marched and fought and burned and looted and tried to free themselves any way possible. I've seen how we've tried to gain knowledge in European schools only to be disillusioned with falsehood and misdirection. So coming into the Moorish American government and knowing that our prophet has given us the ability to free ourselves, you know, I give honors to the Moorish American government for giving us the ability to learn and to be able to apply that knowledge, not just to ourselves, but to our families. I know that our brothers and sisters in the them much honor, but I have to understand within myself that if the prophet was here today, would he still be wanting to demonstrate the same way he did 100 years ago? You know, and as it says in Ayat 21, our land is dark, and evil prospers in the dark. This is a new era of time now. There's a new knowledge and understanding on the manifest at this time. And you yourself and others, grand man, are on the front lines of that knowledge, giving our people the understanding of who they are and who they've always been. No, we do not need to throw bombs and guns and bullets at ones that are coming against us. We have a nuclear arsenal within ourselves, in our mind, in our brain, in our intellect. That is enough to defeat any army. So I give it motivating us to do more. You know, not just to follow, not just cause has bestowed upon us. Bring those gifts out So I give homage to you, Grand Man, for always being that love thought and being that love motivational. Islam. So peace and love. Peace and love, Grand Man. We love you. Islam.
And Islam. And peace and love to you as well, Grand Man. You know, the love is most definitely mutual. You know, Allah is leading on and victory is sure. You know, I want to show our people something real quick. Give me 1 second here. I want to share the screen. Give me 1 second here. There you go, right there. That's the one I'm looking for. I want to show you something. You know what's going on. We done did this before in the past. So I'm going to switch up this tab. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go first and share the entire. That's what I'm going to do while that's opening up. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to represent this while that other thing is loading up. Hit entire screen. And I want all the audio to play. So I'm going to share that right there now. Let me go back to the video. See if it's fully loaded. If it ain't, we're going to load it up. Let's see. These people content, we only using this for educational purposes only. If it allow us to tap into it, because I'm gonna hit this play real quick. I see it buffering. Okay, come on. Okay. Let's get something playing. I just want to start it a little from the beginning. I ain't gonna play this whole.
Today we are talking about, once again, sovereign citizens. Now, you'll likely remember one of the most famous cases that we covered, Brooks Jr. Now, remember, he was the man who drove an SUV into a Christmas parade in Wisconsin and then insisted on representing himself for the weeks-long trial. He was found guilty of all charges, sentenced to hundreds of years in prison, which he deserved because the evidence was absolutely horrific and damning against him. But loose way of referring to a group of people who believe, for whatever reason, the U.S. laws do not apply to them. One way we've seen this is the idea that the U.S. Constitution was changed from its original form, so the laws based on it are null and void. Basic idea is that there is a conspiracy afoot. The government is legitimate over sovereign citizens. And we have seen this take the form of various justifications and legal arguments. We did a sidebar about sovereign citizens in court, but it is not just courtrooms where sovereign citizens think the laws do not apply to them. No, it is also out on the open road too. As the sovereign citizen movement has grown, law enforcement has with more stops like the ones we're about to get into. So with that, we're going to dive into our first body cam video, which manages to cover a lot of the, or most of the common sovereign citizen beliefs. And one to note as sovereign citizens, but they tend to use language and terms that are consistent with that ideology. So just keep that in mind as we go through all of this. But now,
so as you can see,
citizens,
as you can see,
that are the Moors. They believe in hundreds. The United.
Notice it now. Notice they call you a sovereign citizen. Now they got the ability to basically put you in a group and label you and then deal with you according to that concept. You know, if they call you a criminal, you're a criminal. If they call you anti-American, you anti-American. If they call you, you know, a terrorist, you're a terrorist. If they call you a thug, you're a thug. And these terms they use as code words to put you up under their codes. You see, dealing with this tag stuff. Watch this.
Certain people seemingly immunity. So with that, let's turn to our first case. It is March of 2023 in Berea, Ohio. An officer is on the back, just
How we doing?
Mile in Berea at
Okay.
no
No registration or anything like that?
no I don't.
Okay.
I do have my all my information.
Let's see.
Well, it should be right there, all right there. Yeah, it's all right
Have
there.
you ever had a Ohio ID before?
I don't contract with the state of Ohio.
So have you ever? 1606 to 16. Head up here and
you address-
request the boss at some point.
You're a sovereign citizen. And she told him she ain't no sovereign citizen.
when
She
the
a-
officer goes back to a squad car, you can catch a glimpse of what her seeming D card looks like. And he tries to use the address on that card to find out more about this driver. The woman has some paperwork that she believes might help.
Yes, ma'am.
Here's also my right to travel that's also notarized with the state of Ohio.
Now she's supposed to be on the government, but her notarization
It's an
coming from
affidavit
the
of my right to
state of
What is your
Ohio.
first name?
Asada.
Okay. And then your last name is Day?
Yes, it is.
Okay. You said 223 Run Street?
You can take that out of your pocket.
I'm not taking it. I'm just holding it so much.
And I'm on my way somewhere that's very important.
Okay.
And you kind of hold me up.
Okay.
And I also do have a fee schedule as well.
A fee schedule?
Yes.
What
a
is
fee
that?
schedule.
I don't know what that is.
It's a fee schedule for if I'm bothered in my private mode of travel. So this is a notice of intent for.
It's called a fee schedule?
Yes, it is a fee schedule.
Here, can I take a look at the first one? I'm sorry. The first one on the fee schedule? Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, we'll just
So listen, have my.
That's a traffic stop. You're detained. You're not in handcuffs or anything like that. But
This is unlawful detainment.
it's not. Okay.
It is unlawful
I know you believe it is, but I've done this plenty of times. Okay.
Okay. Well, I also have the right to travel
Okay.
in my private
May I
mode
see
of
that?
transportation. It's my private mode of transportation.
May I see that? Here, you want to trade? I'll give you this back.
No, you cannot.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, just like I said, you're not free to go. Okay. So just hang out for 1 second. All right. What's up, Chief? Sovereign citizen. Moorish American. Law enforcement and bothered. Yeah, I don't know where you want to show.
Fee schedule. So we should charge her every time. Or
No.
she charges us.
She charges us.
Interesting. She has a license or something valid. And she doesn't.
She does business with the state of Ohio. He has a allegedly by the state of Ohio, saying that she's allowed to travel.
It's show it to you.
I mean, yeah, kinda.
Who made it? No. Yeah, like 4D. This probably looks bad. I was gonna keep going, but nobody else got here. So I'm like, well, I'm only sitting here.
I just figure I've dealt with SARS before. That's why I asked Marshall again.
Was able to confirm that the drugs to go by Dominique Amel and
Suspended license. Suspended license.
You still gotta identify yourself is the problem, and that's where the hook will be. That's usually where these things go south.
Yeah, which I mean, we dealt with it in Cleveland. Usually everyone's fine until they have the automatic fingerprint at county.
Yeah.
So they would not identify, and then we get down there, and it would read the fingerprints and give us the name. But I mean, it's such a like.
And that's the problem. So it's going to be fun.
Just give me like I just want.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is that in Elyria?
Yes, it
Okay. All right. What was your name before it was Bay?
My name is Asada L-Star Bay. That's all the old name does not matter.
Okay.
So this is
It
my
matters to
name.
us, though.
This is my name.
But that's not the state of Ohio. That's not a law.
Right, and
That's why I'm
I'm
trying
talking
to.
about Supreme Court law. I'm not talking about the state of Ohio. Supreme Court. I'm national, and my travel card. I went through all the proper steps to get my travel card. I went through all the steps to put everyone notice, and this is what it is.
So that's not a driver's license.
Track with the state of Ohio for a driver's license. I do have a right to travel in my private mode of travel, and this is my private mode of travel. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just letting you know I have a right to be private. I live in the private, and this is how I conduct my affairs. I don't contract anything. I have a right to contract how I want because I live in the private. This is my travel card, and this is my Moorish American national name.
So you don't drive on any public streets?
They thinking private property
I'm
is
not conducting commerce on any public highways. I'm not doing any type of business. I'm going from point A to point B in my private mode of travel, and I'm not conducting any type of driver. I have not committed a crime.
You have committed a crime.
I have not committed a crime.
You don't have any license plate to vehicle.
I do have I have a private. I don't need a license plate.
You need a license plate not bought from eBay on your vehicle. You need to be registered.
Oh no, this came from the Moorish National Network when it came with my. It's a private vehicle. I'm not for hire. I'm not for contract, and I'm not conducting any type of commerce. Sorry.
Okay, I understand that you fully believe in all this. Okay, and I respect
No, I know. I know it is not what I believe in, it's what I know. I know that the Supreme Court law says that. Not me. I didn't say it. I didn't make it up. This is Supreme Court law. I have it right here in my thing. It's Supreme Court law. It's not something that I made up. It's just Supreme Court law.
Okay, and I fully understand that you believe that. Okay?
No, it isn't what I believe. It's what the Supreme Court law says. Okay, could you call your sergeant, please?
Ma'am, I'm the chief of police.
Okay, well, are you the sergeant?
I'm the chief of police. It's my department. I'm the head of the agency.
Okay. Where's the sergeant?
I would be above this.
Okay, well.
So that's why I'm here to try and help. I think this settle this as easy as possible.
Yeah, that's fine.
Everybody involved. That's why I thought I'm going to go up here and have a conversation with you.
Okay.
I'm a student of this. I love to hear this stuff.
Okay.
Talk to you.
Okay.
Where we're at, though, is Ohio.
Right, but I'm not conducting commerce. I have it right here. It's
And I know
Supreme
what
Court
you're
law.
reference. I've seen it. Unfortunately, that's not the context of the law.
Oh,
While this spirited debate continues, The officer jots down the car's VIN.
And that's, you don't have a right to do that.
To do what?
To write anything down that has anything to do with my vehicle.
Okay.
You do now.
No, you don't. I know my rights. Okay, and I also know my rights. You guys are pilots for a public service. We're here to serve the public. I didn't call you. I didn't ask for you to have your lights on behind me. You're supposed to use your lights on in an emergency. This is not an emergency. Well, why can't you accept my Moorish national ID and let me go?
Because it was not issued by a recognized government entity.
But we are our own government. We have our own.
But it was not recognized by the state of Ohio or the United States government.
It is recognized by. It is recognized. It's definitely recognized by the Department of Justice.
Well,
we have. No. We have right here. We have a Department of Justice, and it's on the back.
What?
Yes, the government. Government.
The Department of Justice.
The Department of Justice. We are the Department of Justice.
What Moorish national government?
So we know it's like to we try to have the best possible knowledge with
Right.
as much as possible.
Right.
So I guess with this officer, he's just if you can figure out who are
That's all I was.
what
What difference does my and you're kind of interrupting what I was doing.
I apologize. So give us a measure of cooperation.
I've never had any issues like I do in the area. I have the worst issues. It's the Berea Police Department. I feel like at this point it's like a harassment type of issue. No, work for you or under you. At this point, I feel like it's harassment. I don't know if it's because of the color of my skin. I don't know if it's because I choose to live in the private, because I have a choice to live in the private.
I respect it.
You know.
That's why I'm having this conversation with you.
Right.
I'm not trying to ask you. Real. I'm just trying to. If we could do our business, then we can let you go about your business.
I'm not understanding.
Just a little bit, identify yourself. If you don't do that, then we are going to probably take you to custody to identify.
So you're threatening to take me to jail for a non-violent crime, for a crime that hasn't been committed. Because I do have a fee schedule here, and my fee schedule definitely detainment, lawful detainment, because there's issue traffic citation, $75,000. And for what? Would you like to read this? Because
we're past that now. I told you where we're at. I'm just asking for cooperation.
I'm giving you cooperation.
But you're not. You're giving me a lot of the more stuff, which I totally respect it. People, man, that's my conversation with you. You're not really with me at all.
Okay.
So
well,
I told you what the response is going to be. I don't want to do that. That's the last thing I do. You seem like a very nice person. You said your mother's sick. I don't want anything to do with you. I don't.
His name is Chief Clark. What's your name?
Officer Douglas.
Officer Douglas. Oh, I am. I'm gonna definitely file a lawsuit. Okay. Let me
Could you just provide your information before you got it switched over? Could you just provide your name before you got it switched to Bay to me?
You looked it up, didn't you?
Looked up Bay. Yeah, we're asking if you had a name
Did you
before
see
that.
my fee schedule?
No.
We do.
I saw it.
You wrote down.
What did I write down?
What did you write down?
I wrote down your VIN and then the birthday you provided me and then street.
Can I see what you wrote down?
What is your name? Was it the Dominique? Was that your old first name?
So if you
I
know
can't just
that,
run Dominique. There's
so
a million
but
Dominiques
if
in
you
Ohio.
know that, why would you play me like I'm stupid?
I don't know your last name.
You got the VIN number, don't you?
If it's never been registered to you, it will never come back to a license plate.
It doesn't, because I got.
If it's never been registered to you in the state of Ohio,
registered here when I bought it because I had to register it here when I bought it.
did they give you a temporary tag?
Yes, and it expired.
Okay.
And once it expired, I never got anything else because I'm not in contact with the state of Ohio. This is who I am. I don't go old name anymore. I'm not a murderer. I'm not a killer. I'm just a mother who's trying to go get some groceries.
There's another of Camel's information.
Hey, Chief. Not valid, but no warrants.
Not valid?
Yes.
I swear.
All right, man.
So he was able to find you.
Will you provide me a good food? You don't have to. It's totally optional. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm giving you a ticket, okay? I'm saying and advising, the city of Berea is advising you have to go for the ticket, okay? Now, you can go with all your documents like that. In your case, you can put the fees that you'd like against us, not against the court, okay? I just have to advise you that you have to appear in court, okay? Your court date will be March 24th at 9 in the morning in Berea. So here's your copy, okay? There is the court date at the top on the inside. There's also a phone number and a website on the back, okay?
But I'm going to come up here and possibly give you all this information. If it's okay.
Can't hear.
No. It's not about me giving me travel. It's about me giving eyes with the United States.
Well, I guess it's like he was thinking to hear
No. I'm going to bring it up there. To you personally. No, I'm going to bring it to you personally.
Yeah, but
and, I'm going to show you that we are recognized with a United States branch of office or rail number that we're under. So I just, it's fine. I just wanted to let you know that I am.
Again, I wish I had been able to talk to you under different.
That's okay.
Muted.
I'm fascinated by
Unmuted.
Okay, pardon self, Morris Ken. I didn't know that you couldn't hear the video. But what's going to end up happening, she didn't go to court for the Moors that was listening. She didn't go to court, and they end up locking her up. And pardon self for those who couldn't hear the video. You know, you would have to be on the YouTube video to be able to see it. You know, but pardon those who didn't hear it. You know, I didn't know how Morris Ken couldn't hear it. So she ended up being locked up, and they were saying, she was telling them that she got her credentials from the Moorish national government. So in other words, you see what type of confusion that caused, because when they see Moorish government, first people they look at is us. And basically they kept calling her a sovereign citizen, even though she says she wasn't no sovereign citizen. You know, they say she a Moorish American, so she automatically is a sovereign citizen. You see, so nevertheless, you know, for the Moors that are looking at the YouTube video, and that can actually see what's going on. And even if you don't now, you can go back and watch it and see, and then just look the video up, you know, that I have in here. Sidebar Law Crime Sovereign Citizen Movement. And it's going to show you where she cussed them out and everything while they was locking up. She ended up getting took to jail. You know, so I won't continue to play it because everybody can't hear it, you know, but that's what they was getting ready to do to arrest her. You see what I'm saying? So that's a prime example of what happened, you know, when you out of line, so to speak. You know, they let her go because she didn't have any warrants, you know, even though her driver's status was invalid. But then they came right back around and pulled her again because she refused to go to that court date, you know, after they gave her that paperwork, and they locked her behind up for failure to appear in the court, you know, and all that. So, you know, that's what I was trying to show our people. It don't work, Moors. You know, you see all that she was going through, and the European was telling her, look, man, we ain't trying to fight. We understand what the Moors believe, you know, but that don't work in the state of Ohio because you ain't no real nation. That's why. You know, the state of Ohio can't give you no jurisdiction. That's considered treasonous on their behalf. If they do, they'll lose their job. You see what I'm saying? If they go by what you saying and it ain't honored, you know, in no real paperwork under their government. You know, and what they doing is they trying to put the cart before the horse. But the man was like, look, why don't you just go on ahead and take this infraction, you know, and go on about your way. You know, because them, they feel like it's a waste of time for them to fight the battle of her trying to identify herself. That's why they went on ahead and let her go. You know, because she basically, you know, that's why they did that. And then they hit her with the failure to appear in court. Now what happened to your sovereignty? What happened to all that information that you're supposed to have? See, what these people fail to realize is that when you get different people and foreign nationals that come here under the United States, whether they from Arabia, Morocco, whatever, when they get a visa to come over here and they in this country, if they commit a crime, they behind going to jail. And they could possibly face being deported, you know, but they go to jail just like anybody else. So just like their nationality don't protect them from going to jail, you know, even a Moorish American Muslim, you know, if we, let's say we had already been in full status and out of the embryo state, you know, and we a nation and you commit a crime, they still have the power to lock you up. Just because you part of the Moorish American government don't mean you can't be locked up. This is the real deal. Now, the prophet said by the time you violate one of the European laws, you done violated all his laws. And that still stand if you in the Moorish American government. You violate the European law, you violating the prophet law. So what you think gonna happen to you? You think because you proclaim you Moorish American, you don't went and did something you wasn't supposed to do, you gonna get out of it? Just by saying you're a Moorish American, you delusional if you think like that. You see? And that's why now they bypassing, you know, the Moorish American measure, because under a nation, you would be right to demonstrate as you do on certain aspects. But the problem is when you in their jurisdiction, they assumable jurisdiction, they got you. You know, so nothing you say is going to amount to a hill of beans. You know, so I'm going to stop right there because, you know, it's time to go to the officials. You know, but like I said, each and every one of us have, you know, the obligation in this new age where we get out there and teach the people. You know, and each one of us, Moorish American National, are priests. Go along in your saving power. You know, let's get out of the mentality of trying to depend on the other Moors' work. and being lazy. Go out there on your own, and teach the people. Nothing wrong with us coming together and demonstrating as we do and all that there, going out there as a whole, but try it on your own and see how successful you are. So with that being said, we're going to go to the officials. Well, all right. She's about the Father's business. What about our National Grand Mufti, Dr. Conshuma Ak Herubay? Are you there, more? Okay, all right, sister. You ready? Oh, yeah, I'm waiting on you to give your measure. Islam, the subject matter is coming from Ayat 18 in our present chapter dealing with the Council of the Seven of the World. And it's actually dealing with this new age, the new age called for liberty, the kind that makes each man a priest, enables him to go alone and lay his offerings on the shrine of Allah. Islam.
Say they know the prophet and know his teachings. The
prophet said, if you've broken the European law, you've already broken mine. But the prophet always made sure he was within law in everything he demonstrated, in everything he brought forth. But the language, he said, more learn the language. Because when you deal with, you're listening to outside of their dungeons, which you call their courtroom. But most people don't know that. But because our prophet has given us these divine teachings, have opened up my eyes to a whole nother level of a whole nother language. He told us and he showed us how to understand the language that's being spoken. And the chairman said this. He said, the prophet took the English, the bastard English language, and made it divine because of the way the prophet divinely demonstrated the word of law. This divine, these are 101, 102s, and adapt lessons for our Moorish, for the Moors, for our Moorish children, and our prophecies and hadiths. The timeline by which I pay attention to when it comes to the things that are happening now and have been happening for the past 100 years. So understanding the language is key to us being able to deliver what our people need, or what they say, succor to their needs. Because in order to be able to succor to our people's needs, we have to be able to meet them on the level which they're on and pull them up to the level of understanding that the prophet wants them to be on. And we have to be able to succor to their needs, because we have to be able to use discernment. We have to be able to see where they're at and what level they're on and their understanding, so that we could break it down to them and pull them up from that same breakdown. We should be able to pull them right up so they could understand what was truth that we demonstrate and the love that we're demonstrating, so they could see the freedom within our delivery, within the truth that the prophet has taught us. And in order to be able to do that, we must have patience, because it takes patience to deal with a people that have been indoctrinated to the point that they don't even want to be themselves. And we're talking about the ones that know the truth, but so scared that they don't want to move. They're so scared that they don't see that the prophet's protection will cover them, because that's a whole nother level of divinity right there. And so that understanding of how to meet our people where they're at and pull them up and show them how to pull themselves up also by their own bootstraps. And that takes studying. It's not going to happen at a blink of an eye, unless the person is that type of individual that can grasp something real fast and run with it. And the prophet let us know through one of his teachings that some of the new ones will be born with the eyes wide open and understanding sharp. And that's what he means when he said eyes wide open and understanding sharp, because they're going to be able to see the truth right away and they're going to be able to move with it. But then we have those that won't and don't. And so with that requires more patience. So, and that comes from love, loving our people and understanding that we could see the God within each and every one of them. We could see Allah in them. We understand the science of the Moorish people. He understands that language, that love language that our prophet has taught us. So, this word, peace and love to all my Moorish kin, Islamism.
Muted.
Islam, Sister Grand Sheik, they said there's a delay. Want to make sure that I'm speaking.
Muted.
Islam Moors on the conference call. Can you hear me on the conference call? All right. What I'm gonna do, we're gonna do this a different way. Moors on the panel. Can you hear me on the conference call? So I guess nobody can hear me, huh? Okay. Well, we're gonna do it this way.
Yeah, like for the conference call, I can't hear you, but I can hear you on the panel.
All right. Fair enough. Give me a second here. I'm gonna just hang up that line, and I'm gonna call you on here.
Welcome and thank you for choosing freeconferencecall.com. We're helping people around the world to be free for your access code or phone number you have dialed.
Islam, if anybody's speaking on the, we can't hear you on the conference side. Conference call.
The recording has started.
Okay. Islam Moors. Yeah, Islam. See, this is why we need more Moors being active, you know, because it's kind of difficult to do all this, you know, through one apparatus, so to speak. But Allah is leading on. Can you hear me now, Moorish King? I just called in on my phone. Can any Moors on the conference call hear me right now? It says I'm unmuted. It ain't no delay. Okay, right. It ain't no delay in this. So I'm gonna do it moving further. I'm gonna do it like this. from this apparatus, because every time I get on that apparatus on there, you can't really get in there. So praise be to Allah. All right. The floor is open. We're going to call on the National Grand Mufti, Islam. Islam, we hear you, Grand Man.
Gratitude. Grand class. We rise, give it all thanksgiving, adoration, worship, and praise to our Father God, Allah, great God of the universe, the most beneficent and the most wise, and we give the highest honors that we can give to His prophet, our prophet, the last prophet in these days and in these times, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the savior of humanity. We give honor to his forerunner, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and we give honor to his government. Our government, the Moorish American government, the government in which we live according to Act 6. We give honor to the officials of this state government, our divine ministers, swift angels and mufti, our royal council, our secretaries. We give honor to our citizens, the Moorish Americans. We give honor to our flag and our divine constitution and bylaws, the Holy Quran, our Grand National Seal, our Grand National Emblem, our Book of Fire, the Exuma of the Nation. We give honors to everything that is Moorish. We give a special high honors to you, National Sister Grand Sheikh, Dr. Shadu Amedu Amendi, Dr. Shadu Amedu Amendi, Shepshimael, pardon me, for bringing forth this grand Moorish perspective. And we give honors to all of our Moorish kin who have spoken before us, to our Moorish kin that will speak after us. We give honors to you, angels. Continue to give the honors where they're due and honoring all true divine prophets. And we give honors to our ancestors that have come before us, leading the way, and we are them today, without doubt or contradiction. Because no one has the power to change man from his descent nature. Praise Allah for that. Praise Allah for our Moorish kin. Somebody's phone is unmuted. Man is unmuted. Gratitude. It's been a great class, and as I just said, just came off from playbook per se off my notepad. I think that it's a grand drawing, like you said. When we look at each one of us who is getting this lesson has become a priest. And a priest unto themselves. That's like the ordination. And we have to draw that, as priests, that we got a message to bring. As you said, that we got to bring the message. And we're going to bring the message only in the way that we can. We're given many measures on, the different learning styles. And one may learn be audio, one may be visual, one may be kinesthetic, one may be whatever the learning style is, but we do recognize that we learn differently. And this is where, as Dr. Sid said, we got to be able to secure all of our brothers and sisters. And sometimes, sometimes, all the times, in being the priest, we got to remember that that's a leadership position, and that we stand as a leader in our communities amongst men and women, doing what Allah has blessed us to do, and the reason why we become leaders, by not just taking the initiative, but being ordained with that demonstration. And there's nothing wrong with not being a leader. Everybody can't be the chief. You know what I mean? It's got to be, as they say from Indians, it's got to be law that governs all events. And even we don't lead the law governs us, and we follow that demonstration. It's as above and so below. And this is why, like the message you just showed us is very important. I've been in that situation, demonstrating, I got the right to travel and this and that, and I already knew how it was going to unfold. And that's something that going through that, I don't, you don't have to go through that. I can tell you right now. My wife will tell you, I ran the whole thing down before it even unfolded because I've been in that situation, and there's nothing wrong with you learning from me. Especially when it comes to our freedom. Now, certain things, like you said, that, of course, you can't cheat sheet off of me because when the test comes, the truth test, there ain't no written test. It's a life experience, and you can't cheat off a life experience. But what one can do is give you the answer. But if you don't know why the answer is the answer, it's nothing that I can do for you. But I'll give you the keys to freedom because I know without the proper understanding, you ain't gonna free yourself. You're gonna confuse yourself. But over time, you might just get it, depending on your dedication, depending on your determination. And that's not for me to decide. It's for you to decide. Because you're going to be determined enough to get it down. I think that, a problem also, even with that demonstration, is that we in a state and in a time where, we out of line as a people. Now, there's no way that no Moorish man should have sent that sister out there, trying to, I won't say buck against the police, but, try to look out there, she's not protected. And that's the problem we have nationally as a people because ones just don't want to be in their role. And the sister should never be out there trying to challenge a soldier, a Roman soldier. That's not your place. Your place is the teachers of the children. You know what I mean? There's men out there to go to war, and I just think that's personally, is an out of line thing. And for one, whoever gave her the information that, yes, if you go out there and try this, put your life in danger, to me, that's not the right thing to do. I would never send my wife out there and be like, yeah, you get out there, tell them this. Tell them, no, you ain't supposed to speak it out. Don't say nothing to them. Call me or call, who I instruct you to call and work from that aspect. But, I would never send her out there to get harassed or detained or even locked up because she's just trying to go down the street. It ain't working. She's right. Okay, you can be in your private, but that means you want to be on your own land. I mean, you can't come out into the public because law governs all events. When you in the public, the law of the nation governs you. As a private individual can't govern the whole society. You ain't got no backup, and that's what they showed her. You say all you want to say. We got the guns and the cuffs. We got the jails to put you in. We got a system to put you through. And you go, okay, you may get out. We may let you out, but now you got to go get your car out of the impound. You're gonna spend a couple of days or a day in jail, being detained or whatever. For what? It ain't helping our people get free. You should be using that day of effort, that money that you spent getting your car out of impound. You could have, gave that to your government, invested in your government, invested in programs, invest in things that's gonna make your community better instead of just giving it to them. It's like, one's gonna get out of law, like as Sister Grand Sheik was saying, and the prophet already told you violating this law because that's not what we're here to do. We're here to free ourselves. And that ain't freedom. Individual freedom ain't freedom. And freedom without a nation ain't no freedom because you don't have no backup. You don't got no laws for one to respect because you don't even respect them. But we got to, as leaders, show on that, hey, that ain't the answer. Let me show you the answer. Now, you can go out there and be hard-headed, but you can't say the one that give you the answer. You can't say that I told you that you can't feed babies steaks to babies, pardon me, and because you ain't going to be able to digest it. No, I'm going to tell you just like you tell me, hey, the fire is hot. It's hot. Don't touch it. I'm going to give you the answer. whether you understand it or not. But when you testify, then you're going to really see exactly what I was saying. But you won't be able to say, I didn't tell you. And so I think that's what the prophet brought forth when he said, hey, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Take it and save yourself. And save yourself means getting with your people, you know what I mean, and get strong, waking up and getting strong enough to be able to tell one that, hey, you are alone. We are in our private, acting in our private nation, but what we own and what we got together as a nation of people. And we so strong together there, you know what I mean, you don't want to mess with us. You need to go about your business. And that really means something. Because right now, as you see, ones that look at you like you're wolfing, you just talking. Okay, you can talk this knowledge all day, but we got a program, as you seen when those police went back to the police car, they had a robot tell them, the driver's license, they ain't had no physical person, the robot told them, hey, her stuff is invalid. Now you just go through the protocol. Don't lock her up and bring her back because this is the protocol. It's no out patterning in their decision. They just doing what they've been trained to do. So anyway, it's been a grand class, Mo. You know, man, there's a lot of information, a lot to think about, a lot to draw up. We just wanted to share that portion. Gratitude to you, Moorish America, for being here with us and giving us the time, attention, respect. We love you. Islam and peace.
In Islamism, the love is mutual. Brother Mufti, you know, and the key to this ayat here is where we lift the veil, you know, because the new age calls for liberty, you know, and that kind makes each Moorish American national a priest now, and it enables one to go alone and lay their offerings on the shrine of Allah. I mean, you got to be upright, independent, and fearless. You got to be able to stand on that truth when you by yourself, not when you with the clique or when you with the Moors, but by yourself. You know, and that's the thing. Like you said, the sister shouldn't have been out there, you know, demonstrating in that particular arena in the first place. But I didn't get to play it all the way out. If I'd have played it like this and then played it from the audio, you would have been able to hear it on the phone side. That's why I say I'm gonna keep doing the phone. You know, the only thing about that is that if I mute out a certain way, you know, I mute the people out, and so that's why I try to go that other route. You know, but basically, you know, if you go and look at that whole video, they're gonna go and get her on the technicality of not going to court, and she gonna go straight NBC mode. Why you grabbing on me? Don't touch me. You know, now she ain't standing on none of that stuff she talking. You know, so, you know, our people just got to wake up, and the example is being given right there. So we showing you the example why you don't do that. You know, so I ain't got to tell you, like, you know, we said before, we done showed many videos in the past, you know, what Yvonne did the same thing. We done showed where one went up in the courtroom and called themselves going to arrest the judge and they end up getting drug up out of there. You know what I mean? More in distress, more down. You know, this is crazy. We done seen a lot of stuff. We done seen another sister go out there like that, Sister Corin Gaines. May she rise in power. And they radicalized her so much to where, you know, the sister had a warrior spirit anyway. That was just in her, to where she literally sacrificed her life, you know, for a worthless cause, based off what the Moor taught. You got a sister that lost her children, you know, and even Corey Gaines' son got shot when they raided her home. She was sitting there with a pump shotgun, you know, ready to go to war with the European and mixing that with this philosophy. And it's where the European take this stuff and then they'll go to putting it on, oh, this is more sovereign citizen action. Now they got a document where they put our flag on the front page and we don't even demonstrate like that. They got videos out there where Rome done called the chairman and asked him, did he know some of the Moors? And the chairman said, no, I ain't never seen that Moor a day in my life. You understand? But that's they looking at us as the right body. That's why they called the chairman. When they heard the term, now you got all these groups running around talking about a Moorish national government, Moorish American government, Moorish government this, that government there, allodial paradium this, and all that other nonsense. And they ain't doing nothing. Ain't going nowhere, ain't been nowhere. Let me go on. You know, I know our Moorish kin is on a mission, Act 1, but we're going to call on our Grand National Secretary of State out of the courtesy. Anyway, is our National Grand Secretary of State available? If not, she already told me she wouldn't be, so it ain't no big deal. Islam. Well, all right. Well, we give honors to Act 1, the Tribe of Endurance, and also we know our chairman is on a mission as well. So gratitude with a divine attitude, and we're going to go on to our National Grand Sheikh, Dr. Serapis Amin Rael. Islam, you there, Sheikh? Is our Grand Sheikh on the board, Moorish kin that had a board? Islam, Sheikh.
Islam.
Okay, we hear you, Grand man.
Grand demonstration. Praise Allah for you. Give a lot of praise as we rise. Honors to the love father, Prophet Noble Ali. Honors to our officials and staff.
Muted.
As well as our Grand Mufti, Sister Grand Mufti, and Mufti Core, divine ministers, student ministers alike, royal councils, to the 5 Central Forces. This has been a grand presentation. She appreciate the presentation. Of course, I'm gonna give you a call after this call. But all is well, and we know that our people fall for the lack of guidance, for the lack of light. They're still in the dark, and we are the light, but go in the dark and reveal that to them. So praise Allah for you and all of the Moorish Americans that are in their light, in this fight, and giving us a vision to stand, a purpose to stand, a reason to stand. Do it all. We are the one, and we're not going to fall any longer. Peace and love at all costs. January 15th, 1929. Warning from the prophet, read in Ebony. Dignified and inform all citizens. I'm saying all radical agitators for peace, rather working on the streets. Love and peace and not destruction. Stop blasting your cars to Europeans. Cause confusion. Remember your cars for your salvation. They to obey these orders to their counsel. We have to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. When these principles violated, just being takes court. Any citizen or group system or malicious feelings toward the government or the traffic to violate the flag covenant of the Moorish movement, we receive the reward from the life for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. And lose confidence in the prophet. Should turn in their card and run. It's one eternally fed and return to the state where our prophet found it. This is a holy divine move by the prophet of Jerusalem, and the prophet is not right, the government is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out to divine fleet to all more Americans to do their part. Taking the prophet and the government. This is an everlasting move by the prophet, will Allah. He redeems people from this simple way. By orders, prophet of Jerusalem. Divine warning is supreme laws now, and will be enforced by the said government hereby. Islam. Are you young children of one father, by the four by
provides care and is blessed to one mother and has given you selfish divine respect. Therefore, unite thee with thy brothers, that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that bindeth you to love and unity, and feel not a stranger for thy own blood, thy brothers in the earth assist me. Because sisters in trouble, forsake us not. So tell the forces of our Father, continue to support this whole race, and it's carefully continue to you out in your love to each other. Strong, Islam. This meeting is officially closed according to Act 2 of the divine constitution and love to speech freedom and justice. Go in peace, Moors. Much love to you. Long live Moorish America. Islam. That's all. That's love. Peace and love. Peace and love, family. All right, that's what's up.
Unmuted.
Out of the mouth of babes. Peace and love, future. Peace and love. The young and now born.
No longer being recorded.
The young and now born has spoken.
Goodbye.
Well, all right. Islamism without the schism. We want to give honor to our family that's on the manifest. You know, we apologize for the technical difficulties. You know, we give honors to the family showing up. Born Dog, Kama Charles Warrior, Deep Mind 777, Tyrese Bay. You know, y'all make sure y'all share these videos so they can go viral. You know, hit the like, share, and the subscribe if you haven't already. Let the people know what's going on so that we can get in the algorithm, you know, and get this truth out here to the people. You know, our people done tried everything else, man. You know, we literally over here trying to show our people the true way to freedom is government. But we can't have a government without the people. We can't have a nation without our people. So that being said, you know, peace and love. We'll see you on the next Moorish Perspectives. Islam.